So, welcome back. It's been
A
a
while.
minute, yeah. You know, life and such. But
Microphone trouble, but
oh yeah, we have a new microphone you might hear. I have a joke actually. I forgot to mention, but it's in the 19th century. What did horse one say to horse two at the invention of the automobile?
nay, I don't know.
No, a car isn't gonna see your job. A horse driving a car is gonna.
What?
Do you get it?
No.
Because how we're saying like AI is not gonna see your job. Someone using AI well is gonna see yours. So
Wow,
the how the horse was like another horse driving a car, and it sounds kind of stupid, but
that's
anyways,
so clever.
yeah. Today we're not talking about AI. We're talking about short form content. Yeah, Sabrina, what's short form content?
What is short form content?
Yeah,
I don't know. Content that's under the duration of 2 minutes, I suppose. What, like 90 seconds now?
yeah. So think TikToks, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels. Is there any other apps? Does Facebook have a reel?
Yeah, Facebook does have a videos section. Wow,
Okay,
they're so old, they just call it videos.
videos. I mean, yeah. Well, okay, so short form I feel like it's been around for like it started with Vine. A lot of people say like
Mhm.
Vine was the
The
kind of the
original.
grandfather of short form content, and on there was kind of innocent, just 6 second clips. And because it's just 6 seconds, the only thing you can do is like be funny, right? I mean, no one's gonna tell you a whole spiel about something in 6 seconds. It's not possible. Um, and now it's like everywhere. Like, do you know YouTube? You can't get rid of the shorts
What do you mean you can't
on
get rid of it?
as in like
You can't disable it?
yeah. And I get trapped in that. So because I don't have TikTok, I don't have Instagram.
Yeah.
So it's always YouTube shorts that gets me like
Yeah,
sometimes
I
to share.
deleted YouTube for that reason.
Oh, okay. Well, YouTube's my only content hub, so I'm not gonna delete it.
So
But
how do you not avoid it? How do you where do you at what point do you fall into the trap of it?
like it's just if you see something like interesting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like for me right now it's paddle and there's like it's either paddle like leak code stuff or
What's lead code?
it's like like programming
Uh,
stuff. And then um oh, what is this? I forget. But it's normally like those the like a science guy, like either Vsauce will have like a short or like one of the action lab or whatever will have a short and then I'll just watch it and then it's just yeah. But
that still sounds like very productive scrolling though.
no, but it's still mindless in the sense that like I couldn't tell you a short that I saw 5 shorts ago, even if it was something productive. But yeah,
Mm, okay.
what I do is like to get my, I guess, weekly dose of IG or TikTok content. There's normally these compilations,
Mm-hmm.
and then I just watch those because then that's like a 30-minute section of just like everything, and then I don't need to like doom scroll every day for maybe more than 30 minutes. So it's just efficiently getting that hit. Anyways, what's the problem with short form content? Why are we talking about this today?
I think that it is affecting my affecting many things of mine, but namely how I process things and how I retain information and most importantly my attention span.
Mm. I feel like a lot of videos start by saying like how you're always chasing that dopamine. But I read something about dopamine and it's not like the actual reward,
Mhm,
it's the expectation of a reward.
mhm,
And an example or one of the examples they used was that like if say you meet someone you like and then you guys like plan to text whatever, whenever you hear a buzz on your phone you think it's that person and that gives you a higher dopamine spike than
yeah,
actually opening and reading the message. And that got me thinking like with short form content, I feel like you get more like you're always expecting like the next
yeah,
reel or TikTok to be like a
yeah.
really good one, and then you keep like refreshing, 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 and then
So
that's also kind of like a casino in the sense of like the slot machines of
yeah,
you like pulling the lever to like hopefully get a prize. And even in that setting, also there's research that shows that you doing that action of pulling down gives you more dopamine than if you won the jackpot because there's the expectation of having that reward that gives you that dopamine spike. And that's very interesting because I mean everyone knows gambling is bad and addiction is never good in whatever shape or form. So then designing short form content around that means by definition, by logic, that short form content is also bad because it's gambling and gambling is an addiction and so on and so forth. So yeah, and then obviously that has spillover effects to attention span, like you said. How do you think it affects your attention span?
It just occurred to me in the middle of all of that that there was a chance if I had let things gotten worse, that I would have lost track of you speaking through all of that just because you spoke for
Oh,
a quote unquote very long time.
yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that it could do to me. As someone is speaking, I could literally lose focus or lose my attention.
Do you think it's also maybe because of the design of the content, like how
Absolutely.
like it's always like today we're gonna be and it's
Yeah.
just big captions and colorful subtitles and whatever, and it's just action, action, action.
And
Then everything else is just boring. Everything else in the real world is boring.
exactly. And it's feeding into my need for something being very concise and just to the point.
Mm,
And it's almost like as someone is speaking to me in real life, I always want to say to them, okay, like, can
get
you
to the point.
get to the point? Can
Yeah.
you sum this up? And many people that I speak to do, and it's a whole thing of, connecting all the dots to make the bigger picture at
Mhm.
the end. It all goes somewhere. But I'm a little bit like,
Yeah.
in my own space, i.e. on my phone, I
Mhm.
can control that. I can even just fast forward a short form content video
I
and it's
heard that
okay.
you can just like hold and then it goes in 2x speed. That's crazy. Because the video's already short and you're like double
Yeah.
tapping. That's
It's like watching any YouTube video, and now I find myself more and more having the playback speed on times two because
that
that's the pace of content I want to be
wow.
consuming in that content. And
Okay.
even watching TV sometimes
You watch TV on 2x. Okay.
I know it's weird.
That's interesting.
Uh,
I think the only times I ever watched the video on 2x speed was in high school if like a video was assigned for us to watch and the person teaching it was from like a couple of 10 years ago and it's super slow,
mhm.
then I'll like 2x speed. But like normal content for consumption, I like
Yeah.
to take my time with it. So like super hyper fast content and then doubling that
Yeah.
speed, that's yeah, that's a recipe for disaster. It makes everything else in the world so unstimulating and boring. I feel like that's why people take like these phone breaks when you're hanging out with each other is because like you run out of things to talk about and then you're kind of like looking for a stimulus and then you're just like okay let's just all get on our phones and it's like an unspoken thing, it
Yeah.
just kind of happens because everyone just gets bored.
I feel like people just get stimulated by picking up their phone and seeing if they have any
Mm,
notifications. And I've had so many instances that's happened to me and I've done to other people where halfway through a conversation I'll check my phone just because, I'm expecting notifications
yeah,
or anything. It could be literally anything. I think a newsletter email could come through and I'll be
yeah,
excited that something's on the screen.
I get that, I get that.
And this is
It's
very
scary
concerning for me just for what it's doing to me.
because now when I think about it, like even when I'm playing football, like at
Mhm.
halftime the first thing I do is go to my bag and like look my phone to
Yeah,
see if I have notifications, and I know nobody's texting me but it's like you just want to check, right?
exactly. And
It's
it's like,
crazy.
even if I get a message, it's not about the message or the person or anything. It's not that I'm going to look forward to receiving. It's just seeing whatever's there.
Mhm. Sometimes I just see it and then I don't even open
Yeah.
or respond. I just see it just to know that someone is texting me. Do you get this thing where like you imagine your phone buzzed? Like you
I think so.
hallucinate?
Yeah. Like, so, okay, I don't have it on so much of the time, but often what happens is I imagine that it's lit up because, your screen lights up
Mm,
once you get a notification. And then I'll look over to it and, um, I've hallucinated that, but definitely before when it had a noise, and
yeah.
yeah, I would
Because I keep
hallucinate the
imagining that my
noise. Yeah.
phone buzzed and then it doesn't. And it's always like when I'm like studying, I would think like my phone
Yeah.
buzzed. and then it would take
It's so
everything in me to not go to my bed and then look at my phone because
mhm.
I know there's nothing there, and it actually didn't buzz, but I thought that it buzzed.
In retrospect, that's so crazy
Yeah.
that that's happening. I mean, they used to say that if you heard your name being called, but it wasn't actually being called, it was just a sign of you being sane. I don't know if that's an old wives' tale or something, but I feel like
Oh.
that happens less and less now because people are more expecting their phone to
Yeah,
rang
so
than
yeah, that's crazy.
for their name to
Okay.
be heard.
So what are the effects of this? Because for me, I think like to mm, what do you think?
What do I think? Personally, what happened to me before I took intervention to have things in moderation was again this thing of being in conversation with people and I wanted it to be fast. I wanted them to get to the point quicker. It also happened that I noticed in everyday conversation, I feel like it's very layered. I feel like the way someone speaks, they're building up to something bigger, right? And it's like pieces of a puzzle that'll lead to something. Whereas these content forms are just almost very linear, very flat, very on the surface. Everything is directed to you, and um, it made me you okay.
Mm?
Sorry, I'm
Continue.
getting a bit distracted, and it caused me to struggle to follow along to more complex conversations just because all the pieces were like
Right.
getting more and more and more, and I was finding it hard to keep track of
So you're losing your ability to think. That's
that. And on top of this whole emotional regulation thing, this whole uh, you're getting a lot of stimulants very quickly and all at once and all of that. And whatever feeling you feel when you're just trapped in doom scrolling, I don't think
mhm.
that's very good. And afterwards, I'd have to just snap out of it and get back into whatever work I'm doing, and without being able to take a second or something. Because
Mhm.
in that second, I'd likely would want to continue going on my phone,
Mhm.
and it just sort of didn't stop, right? And
Mhm.
breaking out of that to be in the real world was a barrier. It felt very
Mhm.
weird. And then the last thing was that I think it really affected the way I thought because all the information is fed to you in such a way that it's how they want you, like the things they want you to know. So I think it started affecting how I formulated opinions and whatnot because I'd likely agree with whatever they were showing me because it was presented in that way.
Mm.
So I couldn't make my own opinions on things. It would just be
Mhm.
whatever was said.
Yeah. Okay.
And these are the three big things I think.
Okay. Should we start from the
What happened
first
for
one in
you?
not well, I don't think
I don't think
oh,
it's as bad for you.
you think so?
I think you're maybe one of the worst people to have this conversation with because you're so disciplined about this.
Yeah, I was like,
You haven't
okay, I
had
thought you
social
said it
media
was
in
as
ages.
bad, but you said not
No.
as bad. Yeah, because I feel like I more so notice it in other people than myself. Obviously, it's hard
You
to
notice it in other people?
in terms of like when we have like there I know people like who get bored quickly. Like my sisters get bored so quickly. Every time they text me that they're bored is because they've been doom scrolling for like an hour, 30 minutes. And now
Mm,
obviously they
okay.
snapped out of it and they don't know what else to do because everything else seems so unstimulating compared to
Yeah.
that. So I notice it in other people and I'm like, wow, like this is actually a thing. Obviously in myself too, sometimes. Like I think in periods where like I'm on because Twitter is my other my
Mhm.
poison of choice. And I noticed that when I'm on it for prolonged times, like I kind of I get into like this kind of deep flow state of like thinking when I'm working less often
Mhm.
because I'm so like used to like just
Mhm.
turning off my brain and mindlessly scrolling and then
Yeah.
like next thing. But like to actually work and think, like you need like patience, like
Yeah.
start thinking about this and then like you said, the complex stuff
Yeah.
like built on each other. And then you enter this flow state and you're just like working,
Yeah.
whatever. When I'm like in periods in my life where I'm like spending more than like 2 hours on Twitter a day, it doesn't have to be at a time, but like throughout the day, I noticed that okay, yeah. I'm literally not able to think well. And then like I would have to go outside or something like to actually like
I
reset my brain because
completely agree.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
so the doom scrolling thing is really bad because yeah, it shuts off your brain. You're unable to think complexly. Yeah. And not only just like for obviously like you said in personal
Mhm.
relationships where you can't even like problem solve your way out of an emotional situation or like friendship dynamics
Yeah.
because like Literally, boom, 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 boom. And then I feel like coffee is another thing that makes it worse because coffee is a stimulant.
Yeah.
And so like the more coffee you drink, the more stimulated you are. And if you're already like the type of person that's so easily stimulated by the internet, and then
Mhm.
you need coffee to be as stimulated in the real world, the more you are by the internet, the less you are by the real world, the more coffee you need to drink.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of like a vicious feedback loop. I thought of that on the spot. I'm so proud of myself. But yeah, so it's kind of scary. What was the other thing that you talked about? What was the third one?
Critical thinking. So getting the informing my opinions.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's also a thing because I feel like for me, it's more in like what I want to do in the future in terms of like my Twitter feed right now is just Teapot and it's basically machine learning Twitter and everyone there is like whatever, whatever, whatever. And I noticed that like when it became that is when I really wanted to become like this machine learning guy. Before I wanted to be something else, and it was probably also influenced by what I see on the internet
Mhm.
because it's so easy to just see whatever
Mhm.
because you're shown such a small amount of other people's lives,
Yeah.
like literally a highlight,
Yeah.
and a highlight is like the best part, right? So then you're like, okay, I want to be like that, I want to be like that, I want to be like that, and then that kind of affects who I want to be as a person and what I think my purpose is, and then also just like my fashion sense, the way I talk
Mhm.
sometimes. Like I'll see something and I'll be like, that's pretty cool. And then I'll make them my whole personality for the rest of the day. And
Mhm.
when I think back, or like in times where I'm not doing that, like I watch like a long for let's say I watch a long video essay about why this character's portrayal by this director was such a good, or
Mhm.
like why blah 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 blah. It's like a 40 minute, sometimes like an hour, 30-minute video with like good pacing where like you're able to consume the content and digest this as you're watching. So then
Mhm.
it's not like you're shutting off your brain, you're actually processing what they're saying as you're saying it. And then at the end, you're like, wow, okay, this is like a really good video.
Yeah.
But you rarely find that with TikToks and
Yeah.
Instagram reels. You're like, huh, next. Or like you just exhale loudly
Yeah.
and then next. And then so then yeah, because then all these fit checks and outfits of the
Yeah.
days, and like you see the
I just
comments,
cut,
and you're
cut,
like,
cut, cut.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So then you're just thinking, okay, I need to be this, I need to do this, I need to do blah 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 blah, blah, and it's
Mhm.
just all in your head about like you lose the ability, yeah, to form your own
Yeah.
opinions, to be your own person. I feel like I'm gonna have a week where I just detox and like think about what I want to do, and
Mhm.
then having that foundation, I'm gonna be like, okay, now I can go online and
Yeah.
maybe have a stronger base where I'm not easily swayed by certain thoughts and opinions. Yeah.
I think the deep thinking thing is a very, very good point. I think that's maybe one of the biggest worries that I have about losing my attention span, because losing my attention span, it's yeah, it's bad, but it's sort of a one-dimensional
Mhm.
concept. It's
Mhm.
either it's good or it's bad, right?
Mhm.
But this idea that when I'm trying to lock into this assignment that I'm doing and I'm needing to, like our machine learning notebook where they're trying to teach us concepts that build onto each other and then form a bigger picture,
Mhm.
and you're trying to follow it, and it's taking quite literally hours of time, and it reaches a point where it's like, okay, my brain isn't able to handle this right now. I can't connect it, and I can't move on because my thinking isn't layered in that way.
Mhm.
I need a break, and in that break I'll probably turn to my phone
Yeah.
again because I need to clear my mind for a little bit.
Mhm.
And that's crazy because I want to be able to develop these nuanced thoughts,
Mhm.
but I really think that I'm incapable right now,
Yeah.
which is, oh god, that's terrifying.
It's so scary. You
Personally,
literally
yeah.
feel like you're becoming dumb. Like brain rot is
Yeah.
real. It's so real.
And as you said, it causes people to lose perspective. I think it happens so smoothly and subtly that you don't realize you're losing a little bit about yourself. You're losing
Mhm.
the idea that, should supposedly suppose you take a detox.
Mhm.
In that detox, you want to reflect on what you want and all of these things. But I feel like you sort of forget that that's
Yeah.
what you're aiming for in
Yeah.
these times and in these spaces. If you just, say, I'll go away from my phone or something. But it's also
Mhm.
not about a detox. It's about learning to do these things in moderation, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think it's really hard to break out of a habit to suddenly start doing it in moderation if there's nothing that's triggering you or inspiring
Mhm.
you to do that.
Yeah. What does your For You page look like right
My
now?
For You page, I've deleted everything.
Oh, okay. But what did it look like before?
It was, oh God, Kim, you at least had educational things.
No, no, no. Like on my Twitter is more degenerate stuff. Trust me.
It would be it would be a lot of just silly dumb things because that's what I turn to my phone for. I turn to it for a break.
Mm.
So it would be nothing complex at all. Often it was these like this couple that were playing board games and
Oh, I those get me sometimes, but and I hate when they
because
do because it's
yeah,
so stupid.
it's that and then short clips of sitcoms I
Okay.
watch. It's mostly that. And then occasionally this lady, the science lady, I really like her, but
I think
I
I know her. She looks
Cleo,
like Natalie Portman,
yeah,
kind of. Yeah, yeah, okay.
Cleo Abrams, I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
is
yeah,
her name.
yeah. I see
But
her
I
sometimes.
wouldn't always watch her videos because in my head it would be like, oh, this is an educational.
Yeah. And you would just
But
swipe up.
no, now that you mention these things, also gave me a thought with what you said earlier. I think I retain information from the dumb, what are they called, board game
Mm.
people more than I do
Then you
from
do down
the science videos, even though they're the same
length.
sort
Yeah.
of short form content,
It's
which
just
is
more. It's
very
literally just
concerning.
brain science, more colors,
Yeah.
more wacky, blah blah blah. It's gonna imprint in your head more. No, the reason I ask, I'm actually losing my train of thought. Well, but
Well, it happens in
um,
real time.
yeah, no, okay, because mine, yeah, my Twitter is pretty much like it's literally just. Oh, do you sometimes see these like really well edited like kind of short stories, but it's like really short, like
Probably.
I can't think of one right now, but those ones some I see them and then they're really good, and those ones like make me like stop scrolling
Yeah.
because it was like that's actually a good video, like well done, and then yeah. But no, my Twitter is mainly like just opinions about celebrity drama or like
Mhm.
rap beef, or sometimes it's about political stuff. And I find that like whatever my TL says for that day, that's like my opinion on the matter. So like I've noticed that I was kind of like following this herd of like, okay, today we don't like Elon Musk
Mhm.
because blah 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 blah, and then the next day, oh, he gave people satellites during the flood in the U.S. So now we like him, and then I'm like, oh, he's not so bad. So then, like, obviously that's an extreme example, but like more subtly, I started to notice like, okay, like I'm literally changing who I am based
Mhm.
on
Yeah.
what my For You page is saying, and then I was like, okay, maybe this isn't good, this isn't healthy. But yeah, for the thinking thing, I really think going outside helps. Like I've
Touching grass.
noticed, huh?
Touching the grass.
Literally going outside touching
Yeah.
grass because there was this period last year, like at the end when everyone was so burnt out after the whole thing, and they were all we were doing was AI
Mhm.
ethics and
Yeah.
literally that part of life was so boring for me, and all I was doing was just scrolling, scrolling,
Mhm.
scrolling. And then one time at just random wave of 3 a.m. motivation, I go outside. It's like spring, so it's like good cool air. It's
Yeah.
like air conditioning. And I'm just walking around and I just noticed like I'm able to think. Literally, I'm not even joking. Like,
No, I'm laughing at the fact that you decided the best comparison to describe nature was air conditioning.
yeah, okay, yeah, that's ironic. But yeah, no, because then I go outside, I'm like walking around my neighborhood, and
Yeah.
then like I'm thinking so much more clearly
Mhm.
than when I was just sitting in my bed. I think also just because it keeps you stationary,
Yeah.
that also has an effect on the way your brain functions. So yeah, literally think on your feet.
What I've been doing is having a little lie down. I was speaking to a friend about this, and apparently this is some people don't do this. Where I literally just lie down on my bed and close my eyes, and I'm not sleeping, but I just have my eyes closed
Are you
for
sure you're not
a few.
sleeping?
Yeah, because
That's what I used to tell my dad.
I get
When he wakes me up for school at 6 a.m., no, I'm not sleeping. I'm just closing my eyes.
but that's the
Meditating.
point of having a little lie down. It's like
Okay.
I'm not sleeping. I'm just lying
Okay.
down with my eyes closed, and
What do you think
it's
about
really
then?
nice. And with something over my eyes so it's dark. Nothing because, well, it's probably some form of meditation where I just let things stop
Mm,
for
mhm.
a few minutes,
You
usually
start to see the patterns in your eyes.
patterns.
Like,
Nothing
if you
sort
close
of
your eyes
sticks
and
in my
hold them
mind.
for a very
Yeah.
long time, like, you start seeing, yeah. I used to do that
Well,
as a kid. But okay, and you find that helps?
well, it's better. I find that it's better than picking up my phone immediately because it's
Mm.
just a nice break from the
It's a better
screen.
break.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
that's what I'm trying to do. But wow, yeah, touching grass.
Literally. Did we touch on all the 3 aspects? I feel like we skipped one. We said doom scrolling, critical thinking. What was the first one?
Uh, can't remember now. That's
Okay.
part of the problem.
Yeah.
And I,
Well,
yeah, and also I don't know if you noticed, but I think I do it too. You know, halfway through speaking, the actual formation of what I want to say comes into my head, so I break off how I'm speaking into this new thing. And I
mm,
think that's sort of an effect of this is that
yeah.
on first reaction, I can't formulate properly into words the thought I'm having,
Mm,
and to be able to speak about it in a clear and concise way and
yeah.
present it fully,
I can see, yeah. I think
which I really much
I also have
despise.
that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're kind of like a dog. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, it's not just you. Um, let's play a game
a game
of one keep and two
discard.
throw. Yeah,
Okay,
and we're talking about social media apps.
okay,
Okay, we'll start easy.
uh
Facebook,
huh.
Facebook, YouTube, Instagram.
Ooh, absolutely keep YouTube.
Okay.
You?
No, no, you go first.
Oh,
Like, yeah,
okay, we
and
all
then
go
you,
first.
and then you. Okay, so then you throw away the other two.
Hmm.
And what about Instagram? You don't use Snapchat. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook.
I don't use TikTok and I love Instagram.
So you're keeping Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay. What other? Ooh, you don't use Twitter either.
I'm
Use
on
Threads?
Twitter as much as I'm on Snapchat. Threads? On what? Oh, Twitter?
No, Threads. Threads is the Instagram version of Twitter.
Oh, no, I didn't know that. What's TL, by the way? You mentioned that earlier.
Timeline. Oh, TL
Oh,
is timeline.
okay.
Yeah, that's Twitter lingo. That's another thing. I feel like we abbreviate a lot of things now. Like a lot of things that don't even need to be abbreviated. Like there's this. Oh, NTM. I didn't know people say NTM instead of not too much.
Oh, geez, I didn't know that one.
Yeah, I was like,
Okay,
what?
figure it
I
out.
mean, I use my fair share of abbreviations
Yeah.
in text. I feel like out of my friend group, I think I use the most. I think I'm the most chronically on. Not okay. No, I don't think I'm the most, but I think I'm up there more than people think in terms of being chronically online.
But you're online in a very different way from other people. Other people are online because they're doom scrolling Instagram, which is very different from doom scrolling Twitter,
No, but I feel like I get a lot more of the, I guess,
like
pop
internet
culture
lingo. And
references
yeah,
and the internet lingo
but
than.
again, very different because the pop culture they're getting is like the dumb skit that's going on, and you're getting the new internet lingo or
Uh,
something. So yeah, a little bit different in my head at least. Okay, your turn. YouTube, Twitter, or Instagram, I guess.
yeah, I don't use Instagram.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard between YouTube and Twitter, but I think from my sanity that I'll keep YouTube. I think I can do without Twitter. I've done
Yeah.
without Twitter before, but I feel like YouTube is literally like where I go for everything. So I don't think I could get rid of YouTube.
I feel the same.
Do you think WhatsApp is a social media?
I definitely count it as one.
But it's like you can only talk to people you know, and then I don't know if your
Nah.
friends post on their status
No,
because yeah. So like, how is it a
not
social
anymore.
media?
I don't know. I don't know what quite defines social media now, but you know, I
Because it's just a
it's
messaging
like people.
messaging app.
Yeah, people in my life don't use messages, so or
iMessage. Yeah,
anything
yeah, yeah.
like iMessages. Yeah. So WhatsApp is very very necessary. People call me exclusively on WhatsApp
Yeah, same.
as well.
Not exclusive. A lot of people more FaceTime
Yeah,
than
most people in
WhatsApp.
my
Yeah.
life don't have iPhones.
Oh, okay. Fair.
You're good at multitasking, right? You don't need to be on your phone while watching a YouTube video.
Oh, that's
Do you?
that is so interesting. I actually want to talk about that.
Yeah?
You can, yeah, go get water. I think in this way, my sisters rubbed off on me negatively over the summer because whenever I'd pick, like, I'm the type of person, if I'm watching a movie or something, I want to be 100% invested. So, and one of the times I watch like the Christopher Nolan movies, like the ones that will make you like think from beginning to end. But my sister's like movies where you can be on your phone at the same time and not miss a lot. And I watched a video where apparently Netflix has a similar business model with the movies that they make. So a lot of their movies is like easy watching, and
Mhm.
shows it's easy watching where they know that you're gonna be on your phone,
Mhm.
but they want you to be able to be on your phone and still get the plot so you can still keep watching. And I think
Right.
over the summer, I picked up a little bit of that from them, where like we were watching so many like fun, easygoing movies where I'd find myself like, okay, not that this movie is boring, but this part of the movie is kind of boring, so I can like turn off a little bit and just doom scroll on Twitter. And then
Mm.
when it starts getting, if I hear a loud noise, then I'll turn it off and watch again. Cause I picked it up from my little sisters, and I was like, that's kind of frustrating that I have to unlearn that. But that is interesting. A lot of people do that. A lot of people do that.
Unlearning is such a big thing, actually.
Yeah.
I think unlearning is so important, and I don't think it's very, very intuitive just because our whole lives we're taught to learn things.
Yeah.
In fact, just hearing that word, you know,
Yeah, it's
was a bit
100% counterintuitive, yeah.
like, dunking my head a bit.
Yeah. And it's easy to learn. I think it's easier to learn than to unlearn
Because we've never
anything.
been taught how to unlearn things.
Yeah. It's
We're
like
just taught
how
how to
if
go
you had a
backwards.
bad math teacher and they taught you all the terrible ways of figuring something out, it's so hard to like
We can
pick it.
relearn.
Yeah.
There's definitely ways to relearn,
Okay,
but
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
unlearning
Yeah.
is
Yeah, I know. So now like that's like kind of my what's it called? My filter. One of my filters for people that I like or don't like
what
is that if I ask what kind of movies you watch and they like mention like I don't know, like just comedies, I know that okay, you're gonna be on your phone while we're watching the movie, so maybe you won't go to the cinema with you. But yeah, it's really bad because even like with I think general stuff now, like I know my sisters normally they have their phone in their hands most of the time when they're doing whatever. I think it started for me at least. It started with like going to the bathroom because up until I think my senior year
Mhm.
of high school, I would go to the bathroom, like just leave my phone and go. And then I did it once, and then there's just no going back. Like literally, even if I'm going to pee, I have to go off my phone. And I've been like starting to notice that, and now I'll like sometimes try to actively just leave my phone and just go. I know that I spend way less time in the bathroom without my
Mhm.
phone. But yeah, I started doing it, and then I guess my sisters picked up. I think my parents do it now. They take their phones to the bathroom. It's like, whoa. And then that's like the very small step that leads to like a huge range of effects where now like yeah.
I've been trying to leave my phone more in sort of bigger situations.
Mhm.
So if I'm headed out to the supermarket and I'm gonna come back home, then I would try to leave my phone and
You take just your card.
yeah,
Gotcha.
and sometimes to the gym or if I'm with it, by the time I'm at the gym, I'll try to lock it in the
Mm.
locker, and things like that because for me that's sort of important now, I think. Also, we talked about this once, but you separate your devices, right, for
I
purposes.
tried.
Yeah.
It's starting to get a little
Mixed,
messy.
yeah.
But yeah, I think separating your device is also a good thing because then it
Yeah.
sets you in the mode, right, for whatever you're gonna do. Normally, my
Yeah.
laptop is for like strictly work, and then when I had an iPad, my iPad would be for like content, and then my phone would be like for just texting. I
Mm.
don't have an iPad anymore, so my phone is like content and texting, and then my laptop is strictly work. But my phone screen is cracked, so no, I prefer to watch stuff on my computer. So then I have this thing on my browser where I have two separate profiles. I don't know if you use the Arc browser, but it allows you to do that. It's not a sponsor, but
What's Arc browser?
it's like this startup browser company, and then their whole thing is just giving the power back to the user, I guess, in terms of like you can customize like any website that you're on. I can show you after, but yeah, I'm not gonna say too much unless they want to give us a brand. But yeah, And so what you can do is you can set a profile. So I have a profile for personal and I have a profile for school stuff.
Mhm.
My school stuff profile has a very distinctly different color
Mhm.
theme than my personal stuff. So then just seeing that color, I think helps me like know
Yeah.
when to lock in and when not to. So yeah, like separating your even like in your environments.
Yeah.
Like if I'm sitting in my couch, I'm not doing anything. I'm sitting on this chair,
Mhm.
I'm logged in. On my bed, I'm doing less of
Mhm.
nothing. So yeah, like separating your room also, I think like it seems like so like nonsensical, but I think it actually works in
No, I think it's
giving your
incredibly
brain
important.
places to
Yeah.
like clear boundaries to think and stuff. But yeah,
What do you think about the idea of education trying to incorporate short form content?
that's a thing.
Apparently.
Elaborate.
So it's definitely gotten very big now, right? Short form content.
Mhm.
And there's been a debate whether it would be effective for education. So teachers are experimenting with bite sized lessons to cater to students' reduced attention spans.
Depends how bite-sized the lesson is. Is it like still under 2 minutes?
I doubt it, but I don't know. I imagine something like our 2 hour long lectures now would be reduced to maybe half an hour, I guess.
I don't think that's possible. I think like in terms of like things to read, like textbooks can definitely be shorter. And even like academic text, like
Mhm.
literature, can definitely be shorter. Because a lot of like for my honors classes now, I read a lot of papers, and oh my god, it's literally like there's always just only 10% of new information, and
Yeah.
everything else is just like academic jargon that doesn't
Yeah.
need to be there. And I know that's how academia is. But yeah, textbooks can definitely be shorter. I think lectures, maybe a little bit, maybe not up to like 30 minutes. Maybe it can be cut down to an hour. Because yeah, like we've been taught, and a lot of times when we're writing essays, when we're giving presentations, you need to be as concise as possible, be as effective as possible with using as little words as possible. Because when you start adding more words, it just gets too long.
Mhm.
No, not only for attention span, but just you don't convey your message across the best. So if things can be brought down, it's generally a good thing. I just don't think the way that social media has done it has been very as productive as we thought it would be.
But then again, if I'm now to think about it, short form content doesn't exactly always equate to short term memory
Mhm,
because so many people have come to me and said, "Oh, I watched TikTok about this long ago,"
mhm,
and I'm like,
mhm.
"That's you learned
Yeah,
something, you retained something, and that's what we're trying to get like out of this."
yeah.
So I
So
don't
I
know what you
yeah,
think about that.
short form content and social media short I think short form content is a big bubble.
Yeah,
Social media short form content is definitely like a niche in the bigger
yeah,
bubble, and it's like the toxic part. I think there can be good things done with short form content. Like I can watch a 5 minute YouTube video and learn so much more than if I sat through a 2 hour
mhm,
lecture, you know?
yeah,
So yeah, definitely. Um I think we should still go with the kind of the criteria of like keeping things as short as possible.
mhm.
Then also just a trade off, but generally shorter is better.
Yeah, generally things being concise is good.
Yeah.
Learn to be that is important. Have you ever seen TLDR?
Yeah.
Someone sent that to me in a message the other day. I was sort of mind blown.
Yeah?
They had sent many, many messages that were
Mhm.
very long, and then they sent a TLDR and basically a summary of the highlight.
Yeah.
And I thought that was insane because that's the thing. Short form content, as you said, it's not limited to social
Mhm.
media. I mean, any newspaper, if there's a blurb that's like, this is the summary of
Mhm.
what's going to be in the here today, or I suppose it's less relevant for newspapers, more like
Books,
articles
yeah.
and books. Yeah, that's short form content.
Yeah.
In the same way that a whole book is long form content and not just necessarily an hour and a half video essay on YouTube.
Yeah. I mean, okay, but an hour and a half video essay in a book, I think can be comparable in length
Hmm.
and so okay, obviously you're gonna spend more than an hour reading the book, but
Yeah.
I feel like being engaged for that long for both processes is comparable. But yeah, TLDR, I think that started on Twitter. 'Cause I remember I said
Twitter?
that
I thought it was
once, not
Reddit.
Twitter, Reddit.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I said that once, I think, and then I don't know if it was when I was in a group with you, and then I said like TLDR, and it was like someone was like, "What does that mean?" I was like, "Oh, too long, didn't
Oh,
read."
it's a very Reddit term.
Yeah, because you know, COVID
Yeah.
times, I was a Reddit guy, and then yeah, that quickly died out. So
Way
glad for
too
that.
cool for Reddit. Reddit's for nerds and dorks.
Yeah.
You're an athlete. So, I guess, I'm always concerned that humans are not evolving as they should be, which is very, what's the word? It's just it's like an oxymoron. It's incorrect because, humans
Mhm.
are evolving in whatever way, and whatever way they are evolving is
Yeah.
meant to be. So I guess we're just sort of adapting to what's happening now, and that's
Yeah.
short form content being released. Do you think that there's a very realistic long term problem about this? Like, if our generation becomes the next generation of leaders and teachers and parents, and this is how we're developing at this moment, where we're very impressionable at like
Mhm.
young adults at the moment, and
Mhm.
this is happening to our emotional regulation, our critical thinking.
Mm.
Do you think it's gonna
I think it's
translate into bigger
interesting
issues?
when we bring up evolution.
Yeah.
'Cause I listened to this podcast, and it was just basically about evolution is not linear. It doesn't have
Hmm.
a direction, right? So like in hindsight, it seems like yeah, standing on two legs, being slimmer, being like having
Well,
more
opposing
finger
and cons.
dexterity
Okay.
seems like seems like a better thing to have than what we were before. Um, but obviously that's not like a like that's not true. We just adapted to our situation. So the same way, maybe in the future we're gonna be like, did you like Wally? You know how like they're all on there. Maybe that's
Yeah.
how we're gonna evolve, or that's we're just gonna lose um some brain function,
Hmm.
but we can't necessarily call it a problem or a bad thing because they wouldn't see it. They would like
Yeah.
because they would somehow rationalize it in the future that okay, that it was the natural way to move forward from that. You know, like how in oh Planet of the Apes, where like all the humans go dumb. And this is dumb examples, but just the idea that evolution, you can't see like we can't devolve
Hmm.
because evolution has no direction. It's
Yeah.
not like step, 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 step. It's just random. So yeah, for us, it's definitely gonna be a problem. If you told me that my son is gonna be dumber than me, that's not a nice thing to hear.
Yeah.
That's not a if you tell me my son's grandkids are just literally gonna lose their ability to think, yeah, it's gonna seem like a regression for us. But I feel like for them, maybe
It's
there was a
actually
good reason for that. And maybe it's short form content, or maybe it's the fact that AI does a little of the thinking now.
yeah.
But yeah,
No point in thinking about it other than
literally
to
no point
stress
in
about
thinking
it.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever happens, happens.
Do you ever get impatient as someone speaking, or
Oh yeah.
like lose
But
lose your train of thought, or lose their train of thought, or
I don't I think I lose my train of thought less often than regular, I hope. But I do get impatient at someone speaking. And it's but I don't think it's because of social media. I think maybe because English isn't their first language, and then like I know that's gonna take them
mm-hmm.
more steps to converge at the point you're trying to make than an English speaker who is like more effective at that. So I do get impatient, but I try not to like let that
Yeah.
bother me. But sometimes I'm like, bro, just say what you want to say, man. Just say it. But yeah, I think I also sometimes like beat around the bush. Sometimes. I think it depends on who I'm talking to.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes I think I'm trying to sound smart, but then in hindsight, I was probably just
Yeah.
taking a very long time to say
Just
something.
waffling.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know, it concerns me, the idea that so much of our phone and just technology gives us this instant stimulation, and then people try then in turn to turn to other people in conversation to get that stimulation again. When they don't get it,
Mhm.
they check their phone
Mhm.
or something like that. And I suppose what it is patience, right? They're losing the patience to wait for the stimulation to come, or they're unwilling to accept that this is a different form of stimulation, or they're
Mhm.
unable to accept it. And that's very concerning. I at least haven't experienced it, I think, myself, from someone else. So I
Acting
haven't.
like someone takes out their phone when they're talking to you. I think that happens a lot more often than you think.
I I don't know. I guess I always just justify it, like saying,
Oh, okay.
"Oh, they've got work to do," or whatever.
Yeah. No, I
Or
never
something
think
like
that I'm boring. I just think
that.
that yeah, you're just on your phone. But maybe we are just boring.
Yeah, but it should be allowed to be boring, and people should be able to handle it in a different way.
Yeah. No, definitely. Because like unless it's like an overstimulating environment, like a pre-drinks for an event or like something,
Hmm.
almost always you can bet that people are gonna take phone breaks.
Yeah.
And it sometimes it won't even like take long for the phone break to happen. Like if you've been talking for like an hour or something, sure. I guess you're allowed to take out your phone and like reset. Because sometimes like you see a TikTok and then you show it to your friend and then that sparks another conversation. Whatever. But sometimes it's like you meet, it's like, hey, like how's it been?
Hmm.
How was your week? How was your day? And then you take out your phone and then it's like quiet for like a good 10 minutes. And that's why also for me sometimes I dread like meeting people I know on the metro
Yeah.
or like something because I'm not in the I know that the conversation isn't gonna be as stimulating as me being on my phone. So I would like try to not make eye contact with them so they come sit next to me and then I have to talk to them
Yeah.
out of fear of being impolite. And also because even if we stop talking
Yeah.
after the initial conversation, me on my phone and them on their phone is still kind of an awkward situation. So yeah, TLDR, just don't look at me if you see me on a metro.
I've actually been really, really enjoying long form content.
Yeah, why?
Just and I because there are so many moments when I just want something to be slow and something to listen to for like for a bike ride, for example, and I like save something up because it's like okay, I know that you're gonna be talking for at least 40 minutes, which
Mhm.
is what I want because I don't want just I don't know 5 minute, 10 minute, 20 minute things and
Yeah.
have it broken up like that. I think the only thing I use the like doom scrolling now for is a literal break from what I'm doing. If I
Mhm.
have had to use my brain for hours on end, then yeah, I'm gonna take 10 minutes and
Mhm.
just get that change of pace
Mhm.
because that's what I'm looking for in that moment. So things
Yeah.
have yeah really changed now, which is good.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like my favorite thing about long form content is just the excitement of like building up the knowledge
Yeah.
of the specific subject area as the video progresses. And yeah, also it's just the after. I really like I feel like I'm obsessed with conclusions of stuff. Like if it has such a nice
Hmm.
conclusion where it's like just ties it all together and
Yeah.
it's like wow, and then it ends and then like
It's very
just
satisfying.
stops. And because also with YouTube, like if you turn off autoplay, it just like the video just ends.
Hmm.
I don't know if there's a thing with Reels or Snapchat or TikTok, but I know generally like if the thing ends, it's just on to the next, on to the next, on to the next. And
Hmm.
that's like, whoa, 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 slow down. Let me
Yeah.
understand what
Yeah.
I just saw.
Process.
Exactly. Maybe that'll be our next podcast.
I really want to talk about it.
Processing.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I agree, and I think that's just the big advantage with long form is just is literally that. It's that you can build more thought into it,
Yeah.
and it becomes more complex, and it becomes much more satisfying when it's all tied together at the end.
Hmm.
It's better for your soul.
Well, any concluding remarks?
Um, nope.